Hello and a warm welcome to this little flight report about Air Asia's Airbus A320 on a short flight from Phuket, Thailand to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. While the Airbus A320 is the workhorse of Air Asia, and Air Asia is the biggest low-cost airline of Asia. So let's have a look at this plane. It's going to be a pretty nice and short flight going all over the beautiful islands of the Thai Andaman Sea, and then landing into the big airport of Kuala Lumpur. Come with me.
Surprisingly, this flight was pretty empty, and I'm saying surprisingly because the tickets had actually been not that cheap, so I expected a much fuller plane. Even though it wasn't a full flight, it stayed a bit tight because the legroom on Air Asia flights just isn't too great, but that's okay on such a short flight, and the seats themselves are new and pretty comfortable. Anyway, we'll be flying in a short moment, and that always makes me excited and happy.
Air Asia's low-cost concept is pretty similar to all the other low-cost airlines. You buy the flight and you get a seat assigned. If you want to change to another seat, you have to pay extra. If it's a seat in the front rows or with extra legroom, you pay much more extra, and you pay for your luggage. However, 7 kilograms of hand luggage are free and included in the tickets.
The crew is seated for takeoff.
Phuket Airport has developed a lot. Before the corona crisis set in, there were about 20 daily flights to Bangkok and other domestic destinations, and daily non-stop flights to almost all Asian hubs, and even Australia, the Middle East, Turkey and several European destinations. Let's hope that things will get back to normal again soon. As you can see, taking off from Phuket is really nice, so make sure to get a window seat. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, there's a big report about Phuket and all beaches of Phuket on my channel. I've known the island since my childhood, as most of my family have been living there since the 1980s, so check it out. It's fun to watch, and I'm sure it'll help planning for your next Thailand or Phuket vacation, or just lay back and dream yourself away to a tropical beach. But now let's enjoy our little flight above this island before going on with more details on Air Asia and this flight.
Taking off from Phuket Airport is always a nice experience. If you go towards Singapore or Kuala Lumpur, you see Phuket Island, and right after the islands Phi Phi Island and Koh Racha and Koh Lipe and Koh Adang in the Andaman Sea. And if you go towards Bangkok or China, you see first of all very shortly Phuket Island, and then the beautiful very little islands of Phang province, little mountains that come just out of the sea. And then of course the Isthmus of Kra, which is this kind of elephant's nose if you look at the map of Thailand. Only if you go towards the Middle East or directly to Europe or India, you fly just over the Indian Ocean, then you don't see so much. Unless there's really good weather, you will see the Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands.
Unfortunately, after leaving Phuket, we had just very beautiful clouds today. Now I'm wondering how they will manage with entertainment in the future. Before the crisis there were no private monitor screens, but they had huge duty-free magazines in the seat pockets that were fun reading and felt almost like a book, and they had a really great big in-flight magazine. However, I could imagine that they need to start an in-flight entertainment app, because it looks like magazines will be banned from planes in the future. And here on the flight map you see just how big this airline is, or was. Before the crisis they served over 130 destinations in Asia Pacific, all the way down to Australia and even over to Honolulu via Japan. The network covered all of Asia with lots of destinations in China, India and Southeast Asia.
By the way, the legroom might be not so great and the seat pitch is not so great, but the seats themselves are really comfortable and modern, and the seat recline is pretty good. Look! See, that's not bad. By the way, there's a pretty extensive menu, a food menu. You can order food also online just before your flight and order it so it's being served directly to your seat. And there's also a selection of drinks and beverages which you also have to pay for, of course.
This flight was way too short, of course, as we are about to land already. But I'm also looking forward to a nice weekend in Malaysia's capital Kuala Lumpur, which is much smaller and quieter than Bangkok or Singapore. It's just an hour away from Phuket, and it's a nice dive into Malaysian culture and daily life, which is again very different from life in Thailand. And there's lots of interesting places to discover in Kuala Lumpur, and there's some great food too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have landed at Kuala Lumpur International Airport.
And here is good news for all Priority Pass members who start from Phuket Airport, from the international terminal. Well, reviews are really not fantastic for the Coral Executive Lounge. However, I went there at breakfast time and I must admit that breakfast was quite decent. I don't know what those reviews are all about, because we had a nice selection of food. There was no alcohol served except for beer, but well, I can really live without that. And I think most lounges just have too much alcohol and not enough food and not nice areas. So I think it's a good lounge.
Cabin crew, disarm order and cross-check.
So this was the short video about Air Asia's Airbus A320. I enjoyed the flight and I hope you did so too, and if you did, give me your thumbs up, and the greatest thing would be if you subscribe to my channel. That would be fantastic. There's a lot of more flights and destinations report in the tube and will be released soon, so stay tuned and see you again very soon on my channel. Travel, sing, fly.